Zach, I suppose after Tuesday night's real gut punch, it's just a case of putting that to the back of your mind and moving on swiftly.
Yeah, it is. It is, to be fair. Um, in the game, as the game was going on at 0-0, if I'm being totally honest, I wasn't actually too pleased with just walking away with a point as the game was going on. And then, yeah, you know how football is sometimes. We end up going 1-0 down um, with a bit of a freakish moment. Um, and then, yeah, end up trying to scramble for the point in the end, which we didn't end up getting. So yeah, a lot of the boys are disappointed in that sense, coming away from a game like that with nothing. But yeah, we got another game tomorrow to try and get something out of it.
With performances like that, I mean, as much as the result does hurt, you look at how well you performed against Shrewsbury. It's just going to be a case of trying to continue that into the game tomorrow.
Yeah, I felt like we played well. The performance itself was really really positive. Um, yeah, I feel like we have like a real attacking threat now, with the likes of Jonathan Lico who's joined, and yeah, a couple of other new signings as well, which has definitely added to the quality of the group. So yeah, I'm excited to see what we can do moving forward. Yeah, I'm really really positive, and I'm pretty sure we can pick up some much needed results to drag us clear of that drop zone.
It does feel like a significant corner has turned, doesn't it, in the last couple of weeks? All of a sudden, things seem to have been clicking under the new manager.
Yeah, for sure. He's coming with an aggressive attitude in terms of the style of play. He wants us to take it two teams from minute one, and I think that showed against Shrewsbury. I feel like from the moment the game kicked off, I feel like we are quite relentless in the way that we are playing. Our counter press is really really difficult to deal with. We lose the ball, we win the ball back pretty much straight away. So yeah, I feel like he has brought something new to the team, um, and yeah, it's been good. It's been quite enjoyable.
Does it feel like it suits your game as well? I mean, I know you're playing as a slightly different role from what we've seen you normally at MK Dons, obviously being part of the two at the back. But do you feel it's suiting the way you like to play?
Yeah, yeah, I feel like it does. To be fair, it's a lot more front footed. Um, the aggressive style of play in possession and out of possession. Yeah, it does suit me. I feel like if you ask any defender, I feel like you always feel a little bit more comfortable defending from the halfway line and beyond. Um, I feel like when you're defending a little bit deeper and you start sinking a little bit, yeah, it becomes a little bit more of a nervy situation in terms of defending. So yeah, I feel like that defending aggressively, I feel like yeah, it definitely suits me.
With numbers quite low on the ground, though, certainly in defence, Mark's just told us that he's trying to keep you and Jack away from making big tackles in training because he knows you are quite light on the ground when it comes to the defence. I mean, having spoken to Tenno Watson about this last week, you can't afford to go into games, can you, as defenders thinking, "Oh, if an injury here leaves us really short."
In all honesty, it doesn't actually cross my mind. I would say when the final whistle goes, yeah, it's kind of like it does probably cross my mind then. But as the game's going on, yeah, I just want to compete. Um, I wanna leave nothing out there. If there's a challenge that needs to be made, I want to try and make it. So yeah, as the game's going on, yeah, it definitely doesn't cross my mind.
He is looking for new centre back playing partners for you. Obviously, with the transfer window coming up, is that something you guys pay attention to? The rumours swirling around and everything that comes along with the transfer window.
Not necessarily. Um, there's so many games. They're coming in thick and fast. I feel like it's just a case of focusing on that really. Any new addition that comes in, um, as I said before, we've got a really good group here, so they all get welcomed. Um, and yeah, as you said, it's much needed to freshen things up give us a bit of a new look and a bit of a boost. So yeah, I don't feel like it affects any of us in any way really. We've got a job to do, which is to play football matches and try and get results, and I think that's what all the boys' minds are on.
Onto Exeter, then it was a pretty dismal game down at their place, but as I mentioned earlier, things look like they've turned a significant corner recently, and although they seem to be in pretty decent nick, it's another game that you think if you can put in a performance as you did on Tuesday night, they'll be there for the taking.
Yeah, well, if I remember rightly, it was a really difficult game when we went their way. Um, I feel like if I remember correctly, they were quite aggressive. They got in our faces. They didn't allow us any time or space on the pitch, and that was quite difficult for us to play against on a day. Um, I know they've got a change in manager, so um, they might have changed a little bit, but I'd imagine in that sense of them being front-footed and aggressive, I'd imagine not much. But as I said before, we're pretty much the same. We're an aggressive front-footed side, and we've got quality in the side as well. So yeah, it should be a really good matchup. Um, but yeah, ultimately, I feel like we definitely have the quality to go out there on Saturday and get the win.